The Galactic Council, a powerful and prestigious body, held sway over the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. It governed not only the trade routes and technological exchanges that kept the galaxy's economies thriving but also wielded significant political influence. Membership in the Council was more than just a status symbol. It was a seat at the table where the future of the galaxy was decided. For centuries, the Council had been an exclusive club, where only the oldest and most powerful species held any real sway. The decisions made within its chambers could shape the destiny of entire civilizations, making membership highly coveted. Humanity, having recently emerged as a space-faring civilization, had made impressive strides in technology and exploration. Earth's scientists and engineers had pushed the boundaries of what was possible, achieving feats that many older civilizations had taken millennia to accomplish. The human race, united in its efforts, had explored the far reaches of its solar system, established colonies on distant worlds, and developed advanced technologies that had caught the attention of other species. Believing that they were now ready to contribute to and benefit from the galactic community, Earth's leaders decided to formally request a seat on the Galactic Council. The request was meticulously prepared, backed by a comprehensive presentation of humanity's achievements. The leaders of Earth outlined the advancements they had made in energy production, medical technology, and space exploration. They emphasized their commitment to peace and cooperation, expressing a desire to contribute positively to the galaxy's future. The request also highlighted humanity's growing economic power, arguing that their inclusion in the Council would be mutually beneficial. With the evidence laid out, Earth's representatives awaited the Council's response with cautious optimism. When the Galactic Council convened to discuss humanity's request, the decision was swift and unanimous. The Council dismissed the application, citing humanity's relatively recent emergence on the galactic stage. The members of the Council, composed of ancient and powerful species, viewed Earth as too young and inexperienced to be taken seriously. They saw the request as premature, if not outright presumptuous. To them, humanity was still in its infancy, a species that had only just begun to stretch its wings in the vastness of space. The Council's view was that Earth had not yet earned the right to sit among the galaxy's most powerful and influential civilizations. The rejection was delivered in formal language, but the underlying message was clear: humanity was not ready. The Council members expressed little concern over the potential consequences of their decision, confident that the humans would accept their place and continue to develop under the watchful eye of the more advanced species. The idea that humanity could pose any real challenge to the established order was not even considered. The Council, secure in its power and superiority, believed that Earth's request was little more than an ambitious plea from a species still learning its place in the galaxy. The response from Earth was one of profound disappointment and growing anger. Humanity had hoped that their progress would be recognized, that their efforts to join the galactic community would be met with respect and openness. Instead, they were insulted, dismissed as insignificant by the very body they had aspired to join. The rejection stung, not just because it denied them the benefits of Council membership, but because it reflected a deep underestimation of what humanity was capable of. However, while the public on Earth reacted with frustration and resentment, the leadership remained composed. They had anticipated the possibility of rejection and had prepared for it. The Council's decision, though disappointing, did not come as a surprise to those who had been closely monitoring the political landscape of the galaxy. Humanity's leaders knew that they were dealing with an entrenched power structure, one that would not easily accommodate new members, especially from a species as young as theirs. In private, the human leadership began to discuss their next steps. They understood that the rejection was not just the denial of a seat on the Council, but a broader dismissal of humanity's potential. The anger that simmered beneath the surface was not just about being denied a place at the table. It was about the insult to their achievements and their future. But rather than lashing out impulsively, the leaders of Earth decided to take a calculated approach. They had a contingency plan in place, one that had been developed in secret, far from the prying eyes of the galaxy. This plan was based on a simple premise: if humanity could not earn respect through diplomacy, they would command it through strength. The rejection by the Council would not be the end of humanity's aspirations. It would be the beginning of a new phase in their rise. The humans were determined to show the galaxy that they were not to be underestimated, and they were prepared to reveal the full extent of their capabilities if pushed. The decision had been made, and the wheels were set in motion. The Galactic Council had made a grave mistake, and soon, they would realize just how much they had underestimated Earth. Unbeknownst to the rest of the galaxy, Earth had been preparing for this moment for years. While humanity's public face showed a species striving for peace and cooperation, beneath the surface, they had been building a formidable arsenal. The rejection by the Galactic Council was not a blow to an unprepared people. It was the trigger for a plan long in the making. The hidden preparations were extensive and meticulously planned. A powerful fleet of warships had been constructed in secret, far from the prying eyes of other civilizations. These ships were the result of decades of research and development, incorporating technologies that humanity had carefully kept out of the spotlight. The shipyards where they were built were located in the most remote and hidden parts of the solar system, shielded from detection by advanced stealth technology and cloaked in layers of misinformation. The public knew nothing of these developments, believing that Earth's military might was limited to what had been shown to the galaxy. The fleet was unlike anything humanity had previously displayed. Each warship was a marvel of engineering, equipped with the most advanced technology Earth had ever produced. The hulls were reinforced with materials that could withstand the most powerful energy weapons known to the galaxy. The propulsion systems were cutting-edge, allowing the ships to maneuver with unprecedented speed and agility. These warships were built not just to defend Earth but to challenge the very balance of power in the galaxy. Alongside the fleet, Earth had developed an array of new weapons, the likes of which had never been seen before. These included energy-based weapons that could slice through the most advanced shields and armor with ease, and quantum weapons capable of disrupting the fabric of space-time, turning the tide of battle in an instant. These weapons were designed with specific strategies in mind, tailored to counter the strengths of the Galactic Council's member species. Humanity's leaders had studied the technology and tactics of the Council for years, identifying weaknesses and vulnerabilities that could be exploited. The tactical approach developed by Earth's military was as innovative as the technology itself. The leaders knew that in a direct confrontation, sheer numbers were not in their favor. Instead, they focused on speed, precision, and overwhelming force in key engagements. The new fleet was designed to strike swiftly and decisively, delivering devastating blows before the enemy could fully react. The tactics emphasized disruption, targeting the command structures and critical infrastructure of the enemy, leaving them disoriented and unable to mount an effective defense. These preparations had been kept secret, known only to a select few within humanity's leadership. The decision to keep these developments hidden was a calculated move, designed to ensure that when the time came, humanity could strike with the element of surprise. The leaders of Earth had anticipated that their request for a seat on the Galactic Council might be denied, and they had prepared accordingly. The Council's dismissal of humanity as a minor player had only confirmed what Earth's leaders already suspected. The galaxy was not yet ready to accept humanity as an equal. With the Council's rejection, the time to act had arrived. The leaders of Earth convened in secret, reviewing their plans and making the final decision. They understood the gravity of what they were about to do. The unveiling of Earth's true strength would change the course of galactic history, but they were prepared to accept the consequences. The Council's refusal to recognize humanity's achievements had left them with no other choice. It was time to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. The decision was unanimous. Earth would no longer be bound by the rules and restrictions imposed by the Galactic Council. They would no longer seek approval from a body that refused to acknowledge their place in the galaxy. Instead, they would take their rightful place by force if necessary. The leaders of Earth authorized the deployment of their hidden fleet, and preparations were made to issue a warning to the Galactic Council. The message would be clear and uncompromising. Humanity was no longer asking for recognition, they were demanding it. As the fleet began to move into position, ready to reveal itself to the galaxy, there was a sense of resolve among Earth's leaders. They knew that they were about to embark on a course that could lead to war, but they were prepared for the challenge. The Galactic Council had underestimated humanity for the last time. Now, they would face the consequences of their arrogance. Earth's leaders were confident in the strength of their fleet, the effectiveness of their weapons, and the soundness of their strategy. They had prepared for this moment, and they were ready to show the galaxy that humanity was not a species to be trifled with. The warning was prepared, and the fleet was ready. The time for patience and diplomacy had passed. Earth would no longer be denied its place in the galaxy. The Galactic Council had made their decision, and now it was humanity's turn to respond. The leaders of Earth gave the final order. It was time to reveal the power they had kept hidden for so long. The galaxy was about to learn that Earth was not to be underestimated, and that when pushed too far, humanity would not hesitate to fight back. The moment had arrived. Earth's leadership, having made the decision to no longer tolerate the Galactic Council's dismissal, crafted a message that would send shockwaves across the galaxy. The tone was deliberate, calm, direct, and unmistakably threatening. The message was simple: humanity would no longer abide by the Council's restrictions, and the Council would do well to prepare for the consequences of their decision. The final words of the message were chilling in their clarity. "Run, if you wish to avoid what's coming." The warning was transmitted to the Galactic Council with the knowledge that it would be received immediately by all member species. Earth's leadership knew that this message would cause a stir, but they also anticipated the Council's initial reaction. The Council had already shown their arrogance in dismissing humanity's request for a seat, and Earth's leaders expected that arrogance to color their response to this warning. The message was not just a declaration of defiance. It was a psychological move designed to unsettle and provoke a reaction. True to expectations, the Galactic Council's response was one of amusement and contempt. The idea that humanity, a species they had deemed too young and primitive, could pose any real threat was laughable to them. The Council members, representing some of the oldest and most powerful civilizations in the galaxy, viewed Earth's warning as little more than the bravado of an overreaching species. They dismissed the message as an empty bluff, a last-ditch attempt by humanity to assert itself in a situation where it had no real leverage. The Council's reaction was almost immediate. The warning was met with derision, with several Council members openly mocking Earth's leadership. Statements were made to the effect that humanity should focus on its own development rather than making threats it couldn't back up. The consensus among the Council was that the warning did not merit a serious response, and any concerns raised by more cautious members were quickly overridden. The prevailing attitude was that humanity, despite its recent advancements, was still leagues behind the established powers of the galaxy. But Earth's leadership was unfazed by this lack of response. They had anticipated the Council's arrogance and had planned accordingly. The warning had been issued not to provoke an immediate reaction, but to set the stage for what was to come. The lack of concern from the Council only confirmed what Earth's leaders had long suspected. The galaxy was not prepared for the full extent of humanity's capabilities. The Council's dismissal was not a setback. It was an opportunity to demonstrate that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. With the Council's predictable reaction in hand, Earth's leadership moved to the next phase of their plan. They authorized the deployment of the Hidden Fleet, the powerful armada that had been kept secret from the galaxy for so long. The ships, which had been concealed in remote regions of the solar system, began to move into position. This was no longer a time for secrecy. The fleet would soon reveal itself, and with it, the true strength of Earth's military capabilities. The tension began to build as the fleet moved silently through the void, its presence unnoticed by the Council's monitoring systems. Earth's leadership had planned for this moment meticulously, ensuring that the fleet's movements were undetectable until they chose to reveal themselves. The Council, still confident in their dominance, remained blissfully unaware that the balance of power was about to shift dramatically. The humans knew that this ignorance would not last, but they were determined to maximize the impact of their first strike. The narrative now tightened, with each passing moment bringing humanity closer to the point of no return. The fleet was in position, and Earth's leadership prepared to execute the next phase of their plan. The tension was palpable as the galaxy, still unaware of the impending storm, continued with business as usual. The Council's confidence, their belief in humanity's inferiority, was about to be shattered. The stage was set, and Earth's leaders knew that they held the upper hand. As the final preparations were made, there was a quiet resolve among Earth's leaders. They understood the risks, but they were prepared to face whatever consequences came their way. The Galactic Council had underestimated humanity for the last time, and now, they would be forced to confront the reality that Earth was no longer a passive participant in galactic affairs. The fleet was ready, the warning had been issued, and the time for action was at hand. The tension reached its peak as the fleet's countdown began. Earth's leadership had made their decision, and there was no turning back. The Council's mockery and contempt would soon give way to shock and fear, as they realized too late that they had pushed humanity too far. The humans were about to reveal their true strength, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The final moments of calm before the storm stretched out, each second bringing the inevitable clash closer. The warning had been given, and now, the galaxy would see just how serious humanity was about its place in the cosmos. The moment the galaxy had unknowingly awaited finally arrived. From the shadows of deep space, Earth's hidden fleet emerged in a coordinated and awe-inspiring display. These ships were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, sleek, powerful, and bristling with advanced weaponry and defensive systems that defied the expectations of even the most advanced species. The fleet, carefully constructed and kept hidden for years, was now fully revealed, its presence a testament to humanity's ingenuity and determination. As the fleet emerged from its secret locations, a wave of shock began to ripple through the galaxy. The ships, far more advanced than anything humanity had publicly displayed, moved with precision and purpose. They were designed not just for war, but for domination, equipped with cutting-edge technologies that outstripped anything the Galactic Council had anticipated. The fleet was a clear message to the galaxy. Humanity was not only capable of standing alongside the most powerful civilizations, but was ready to challenge them if necessary. The first strike was swift and decisive. Earth's fleet targeted a critical Galactic Council outpost, a hub of communication and defense that had long been considered invulnerable. The attack was meticulously planned, and when it came, it was devastating. In a matter of moments, the outpost was reduced to ruins, its defenses overwhelmed by the sheer power of Earth's assault. The weapons humanity had developed in secret proved to be devastatingly effective, tearing through the outpost's shields and armor with ease. The attack left the Council stunned, unable to comprehend how a species they had dismissed as primitive could execute such a flawless and destructive strike. The Council's initial reaction was disbelief. They had dismissed Earth's warning as a bluff, convinced that humanity posed no real threat. But as reports of the outpost's destruction began to pour in, disbelief turned to panic. The Council members, who had been so sure of their superiority, now found themselves scrambling to respond to a threat they had not seen coming. Their assumptions about Earth's technological limitations were shattered, and they were forced to confront the reality that they had grossly underestimated humanity. Panic spread quickly through the Council's ranks. The realization that Earth possessed the capability to not only challenge, but potentially defeat their forces sent shockwaves through their leadership. They had been caught completely off guard, their confidence in their technological and military superiority turned against them. The Council, once so secure in its dominance, was now on the defensive, scrambling to mobilize a response to the unexpected threat. As the Council struggled to regroup, Earth's leadership issued a final declaration. The message was clear and unyielding: humanity would no longer tolerate being ignored or belittled. The declaration outlined humanity's demands for respect and recognition as an equal power in the galaxy. It made clear that Earth had no desire for war, but that they were fully prepared to continue their campaign if the Council refused to acknowledge their rightful place among the galaxy's leading civilizations. The declaration was backed by the undeniable display of power that had just been unleashed. Earth's leaders made it clear that further resistance would be met with even greater force, and that the days of humanity being dismissed as a minor player in galactic affairs were over. The message was a direct challenge to the Council's authority, one that could not be ignored. The Council, still reeling from the shock of the initial attack, was left with a choice. They could continue to resist and risk further devastation, or they could accept that humanity had earned its place at the table. The panic that had gripped the Council was now tempered by the sobering reality that they were dealing with a new and powerful player, one that would not be easily subdued. As the Council deliberated their next move, the galaxy watched in stunned silence. Humanity had revealed its true strength, and the balance of power was forever changed. The ships that now dominated the space around the Council's most critical outposts were a stark reminder that Earth was no longer a species to be underestimated. The unveiling of Earth's fleet had sent a clear message to the galaxy: humanity was here to stay, and they would no longer be denied their rightful place in the Galactic Order. The Galactic Council, confronted with a force they had never anticipated, found themselves with little choice but to retreat from key strategic positions. The realization that they had vastly underestimated humanity left them no room for pride. Their survival now depended on conceding ground. Earth's fleet, having demonstrated its overwhelming power, took control of these critical locations, solidifying humanity's presence in the galaxy and leaving the Council with the bitter taste of defeat. As the Council's forces pulled back, the news of these unprecedented events spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Civilizations that had once viewed humanity with indifference, or even disdain, now looked upon Earth with a mix of fear and respect. The balance of power had shifted dramatically, and the galaxy was forced to acknowledge that a new major player had emerged. The swift and decisive actions of Earth's fleet were a clear message that humanity was not only capable but formidable, a force to be reckoned with in the vast theater of interstellar politics. On Earth, the leadership gathered to reflect on the victory. The triumph was undeniable. They had forced the Galactic Council into retreat and established humanity as a significant power in the galaxy. But as they celebrated this hard-won success, the leaders were also acutely aware that this was only the beginning. The battle had been won, but the larger war for true equality and respect was far from over. They understood that their actions would have lasting consequences, not just for their relations with the Council but for the entire galactic community. The leaders knew that the path forward would be fraught with challenges. Their display of strength had secured them a place at the table, but it had also painted a target on their backs. They anticipated that the Council, once it recovered from the shock, would regroup and possibly seek to reclaim what they had lost. Other civilizations, too,